Hey, we just finished up a Motorola's press event here in New York City, and we're walking away with this. This is the Moto Z2 Force. It's obviously the sequel to last year's Moto Z and Moto Z Force, and as you can see, it kind of slots in the middle. It's about as thin as the Z, but it's got the durability of the Force. Motorola's Shatter Shield technology is back. We've got 2 or 3 extra layers of protection built into the device to make sure that if you drop it or smash it or hurl it into the street like I almost just did there, your screen will not shatter. Inside the Z2 Force, we're looking at a Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 chipset with 4 GB of RAM. We also have the Adreno 540 GPU and 64 GB of internal storage. If all that sounds familiar, you've been paying attention because that has been the configuration for just about every major flagship phone we've seen this year. That said, it does seem to run really smoothly and really quickly, as you'd expect from a phone with that level of horsepower, and with the clean software that Motorola is known for. This does run Android 7.1.1 Nougat, so you're running with the latest and greatest, and it's always nice to see Motorola just kind of leave Android alone. I'm a stock purist. I know a lot of you are too. I think you're gonna like what's going on here. That said, there are a couple new Moto experiences that are fairly recent additions to the mix. I could, for example, instead of using Google Assistant, Show Me being the wake word, and Motorola's own homebrew assistant brings up the weather for the day, and you can use that for lots of different functions across lots of different first-party apps. I don't think we really need another virtual assistant, but it's nice to see one working this well. On the back, you'll notice something a little different from Motorola. This is a dual camera setup. It's Motorola's first, and it combines 2 12-megapixel sensors, one for color data and one for black and white, sort of like Huawei did with the P10. I'm generally pleased with what I've seen so far, but we'll get back to you with a deeper report once we do our full review. And obviously, since we're working with a Moto Z, we have the Moto Mod connector on the back, allowing you to magnetically attach accessories to your new smartphone. The newest of which is obviously this. This is the $300 Moto 360 camera, which, as the name implies, allows you to take 360-degree videos when you attach it to your smartphone. Again, we have not spent a whole lot of time with this thing, but the photos we've captured with it are actually pretty good. We're not entirely sure how much battery this thing is going to blow through when you're recording 4K, since it uses your phone's battery. And speaking of the battery, the Moto Z2 Force does not have a battery as good as we saw in last year's Z Force. Frankly, I'm kind of crushed. That was by far my favorite thing about that phone, and we're sort of left with a sleek, slim device that should last you a day, but probably not too much longer than that. Anyway, there is a lot more to dig into with the Moto Z2 Force and the 360 camera. Stay tuned for our full review, and yeah, I gotta go play with this thing some more.